Gupta, Director, Resurgent India Limited. Mr. K. Gupta is the Director at Resurgent India Limited, specializing in corporate finance and management consultancy for SMEs as well as large corporations, handling substantial financial transactions. He also serves as a task force member for government MOEs and on the grievance committee at Power Finance Corporation. With a 36-year banking background and a tenure as General Manager at Central Bank of India, he holds degrees in economics and bank management. Key speakers: Mr. Gaurang Vaswada, trainer, ex-banker and partner, FEX Feen Associates LLP. Mr. Gaurang Vaswada is an ex-banker with 35 years of experience in international trade, finance, and foreign exchange. He has held various positions during his banking career, including that of Chief Dealer Forex and Head of International Division at erstwhile Bank of Rajasthan and as Branch Head, Compliance Manager and Subject Matter Expert, SME, Trade with ICICI Bank. At present, he is actively involved in training for trade and forex-related subjects in and out of the banks and advising corporates in matters involving FEMA and RBI guidelines. He is also a resource person for the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, IIBF, and faculty for FEDAI. Ms. Linta Joshi, Trade SME, ICICI Bank. Working with ICICI Bank Trade Finance Department. Overall 9.5 years of banking experience. Currently holding the position of Subject Matter Expert, SME, Trade Finance. Responsible for 1. Guiding bank branches in executing various trade transactions and digital solutions. 2. Monitoring trade service and compliance parameters. 3. Identify process gaps and work towards process improvements.
Good evening, friends. I am your host again, K. Gupta. I am a Director of Association for Financial Advisor of India and also Director of Research in India. Under the banner of the association, we are having this program of 56 program in series, and we have already completed 14th program with the ICICI Bank in respect of the maximum major export credit. Various topics we have discussed. I think we received a great feedback from the participants. Today webinar, we are more than 332 participants beside the YouTube and electronic media. On the request of our members, because we are more than 400 members under the association, and with the entrepreneurs. So we are holding this very important program, that is life cycle of an import shipment and issue in closing of bill of entry in import data processing and monitoring system. I think this is the most important subject, how you want to close the system, because there are so many things are there. So first of all, for any import, you require to import declarations. After import declarations, you have to submit the bill of entry, that is BOE filing. Thereafter, custom clearance, duty payment, and clearance and delivery. I think these are the major aspects of any clearance of any consignments. And there are so many issues involved with this. And then we're talking about the data inconsistency in account, documentation error, classification and valuations, system technical issue, compliance with regulatory requirements. I think these are the main issue under the system. Then we are facing the common challenges It may be some delayed when you are not complying the system. It is delayed. Additional cost will incur. Compliance risk. Then best practice is you have to submit a accurate data, entry bills, complete documentation, proper classifications and values. We are going to discuss in details and we have expert with us, Shri Vaswara, Jordan Vaswara, who has already completed with us 14 webinar under a series of ICICI Bank. Besides, we are having a Madam Doshi, who is expert under the SME fields. And we are discussing the details. Agenda item we have already circulated. Still for the information, we are talking about the FEMA 1989 and imports, mode of import bill and payment, monitoring of import documents, understanding what is import data processing and monitoring system, and its closure of imports and payments. And lastly, we are discussing with you the RBI guidelines and facility on imports. So any question from the participant, they are welcome. Any doubt, any clarification, because we are having expert under the field of the foreign FEMA, and he has so much experience in the field. Any question in respect of any difficulty you envisage or you are feeling it can be replied in this webinar. So please keep ready your question, send to us. We will try to give a proper reply to you. So now I request Shri Gongwada. So please take up the session and give the thoughts on the subject which I narrated. So request sir, please.
Thank you.
Take over.
Thank you, Gupta sir, for the introduction. Thank you, ICICI Bank, and thank you, AFI Research India for this opportunity. So very rightly said by Gupta sir about the life cycle of an import, where there are several issues in between. Compliances are there, the lag out compliances. I would like to cover all these in today's session. If you have any queries, please post it in the chat box. We will take the questions from there toward the end. Thank you. Screen is visible, sir?
Oh, please.
Okay. Life cycle of an investment. I would like to cover this specifically from the perspective of FEMA. Now, why FEMA? Because when we will see that there are several regulators, they are there when we do export and import. And from the FEMA perspective, it is very important to look at it, any of the export-import transaction, because post our maybe custom related formality or DGFT form related formality, there are several other things to be complied. So what is the starting point for an import transaction? Any guesses? The starting point for an import transaction is a contract, order, or a pro forma, whatever name we give it to that document, where both buyer and seller agree to enter into a transaction. The buyer is in India, the supplier is say from China or Hong Kong or Malaysia or UK or USA, and they have to enter into some agreement on terms and conditions. So when both the parties agree, and ideally both the parties sign it, now there are digital signatures also, but when both the parties sign it, any document which both the parties sign to on certain terms and conditions becomes a contract. How should be my contract be? So that is very important. So first document for all our later on problems is having a or creating a good order, a strong contract with all requisite points covered, including contingency aspects. What if there is a ban on the goods in India? I am not able to bring in. I have placed an order for, say, certain chemical items where the government has tomorrow morning said that you cannot bring this particular item from so and so country. Now, I am already into a contract. I have sent an advance payment. If I do not have a condition there that in the event which is something beyond the purview of the buyer and seller, if I am not able to do the import, whether the supplier in China or supplier in UK is going to refund the money to me or not. So I do not have, as of now, any contingency plan but what could happen. If there is a COVID-like situation and the supplier is not able to supply, then what happens? The money is already paid in advance. The shipments are not there. There is a war-like situation where you cannot move the ships. Red Sea or Hormuz or all those conditions are there. We do not foresee those things and we do not put it in writing there. Leave aside our Incoterms, price, unit, shipment from shipment to last date of shipment, etc. But beyond that, I need to have a strong contract. Now, if I have a strong contract, most of my problems later on, under FEMA also and under customs also, can be taken care of. So we'll gradually, when we grow, we will see what all things are putting. Now, when we talk about the import, what are the regulatory bodies? The regulatory bodies are DGFT, because ultimately, firstly, I have to see IEC, I have to see the foreign trade policy, I have to see what HS codes are permitted, and others like SIMS, CHIMS, etc., etc. And what countries I can import, what is the floor price, what is the additional duty, all those things I need. When I am bringing the goods into India, then what documents are required, what will be asked by the documents, what valuation certificates are there, what duties are applicable for any country where there is an ad valorem additional duty or not, and how the clearance is going to happen. So customs will monitor this. So first step is DGFT and then the customs. So before placing an order, I have to see the DGFT and customs related aspects so that if anything is required, if I need a specific violation or inspection certificate, maybe a phytosanitary certificate or a fumigation certificate, all these things I will mention in my contract itself. If the supplier misses this, the customer is not going to release my parcel. Then going ahead, there are inspection agencies. So commodity specific requirements could be there for inspection. And lastly, Reserve Bank of India. From the FEMA angle, the documents, timely imports and payments, two important things are to be seen. What documents will be asked by the bank or what documents should be called for under an LC and what is the timeline. Now, when we talk of RBI, Reserve Bank of India, I have the umbrella act beyond RBI is Foreign Exchange Management Act. This is one act where the inflow and outflow of foreign exchange funds, whether related to export, import, or any lending, borrowing, will be covered. Then comes the RBI guidelines. Now, the regulations of RBI under FEMA and the master directions, which RBI issues from time to time and updates from time to time, those guidelines and circulars need to be seen. And then I have to get this work done from the bank.
Hello.
Sir,
Hello.
one second. The screen is stopped. Okay. So the internal guidelines and instructions, and each bank will have its own parameters for handling of documents. There are several leeways given by Reserve Bank of India. So I need internal guideline. I have to understand the internal guidelines. So I was with a corporate a couple of days back. They said, sir, we have this large corporate. We have 11 banks consortium. What is going to happen now? There are draft guidelines in the public space where RBI is likely to soften the guidelines. Softens in what way? Whatever parameters they have said, now banks will be free to decide on that. And when banks will be free to decide on, so it will be relaxed guidelines. Now, once it is a relaxed guidelines and each bank is allowed to fix their own parameters, limits, etc., then what will happen? These 11 banks, what I am talking of, will have 11 different set of guidelines. So from one guideline, I may have to refer to now 11 different banks, 11 different guidelines. Let us see what FEMA says. FEMA is a management act. We have come from a long way from Foreign Exchange Regulation Act to Foreign Exchange Management Act. Now, this Management Act per se has an objective of facilitating trade. It is not a restrictive act. And the act wants to promote the markets, promote the trade. So, first of all, if I am doing my business in an earnest manner, I do not fear anything about the law. The next one is it is applicable to whole of India. So normally we say Kashmir to Kanyakumari, but also beyond that. If I have an office there abroad, somebody has opened an office, buying office in Dubai, even for that, this will be applicable. Now, FEMA has handed over the power to make regulations to RBI, and RBI has handed over the powers to conduct the business, handle the documents, etc., to authorized dealers banks. One of the authorized dealers banks is ICICI. Now, what authorized dealers are there? They are there as agents to RBI for facilitating trade and payments and related compliance. They are pseudo extended arm of RBI for execution of transaction and compliance of that. Why? Because RBI will not open my account. I am an importer or an exporter. I cannot open an account with RBI. RBI does not do the day-to-day work. So, as an extended arm of RBI, authorized dealers are specific banks. They have been authorized to handle foreign exchange transactions. Now, it is not only the operations, it is also compliance of guidelines within the. What did it say? RBI will allow specifically those banks only which they permit. So every bank is not an authorized bank. I may have several of the cooperative banks or small finance banks which are not authorized dealers. So firstly, I must have an account with an authorized dealer so that I have somebody to guide me for my import side. And then this bank will have an AD code. This AD code is must for everybody who wants to export import business. But I need to use this in my shipping bill or bill of health. Now on imports, FEMA is very specific. What does it say? Import with its grammatical variations and cognate expressions means bringing into India any goods or services. So both are included. If I am importing something where there is a commercial value, the bigger question comes. Sir, my brother has sent me a bottle of perfume. I have got a bottle of perfume sent by my brother in USA, whether that as a gift, whether that will constitute import or not, it is both yes and no. Yes, because it has been bringing into India from outside India, but no, because it does not have a commercial. So I will reframe this definition saying bringing into India any goods or services which has a commercial, where it is intended to pay. The intention is not to give free. Even for samples also, some are free samples, some are paid samples. The paid samples will come into this definition. And the master direction on import of goods and services, I will suggest everybody who is into the business of exports must have this master direction. So I know what questions bank is going to ask me. What are the parameters available? Now the introductory line of this master direction says import trade is regulated by Director General of Foreign Trade. It means FEMA or RBI does not deal in the goods or commodities. So anything related to goods or commodities will be regulated by DGFT. You will have to first go and see whether DGFT has permitted this or not. So in that manner, that needs to be taken care of. And another thing is that banks should ensure that goods which are being imported are in conformity of the trade policy and Foreign Exchange Management Act rules, both the things. So whenever banks will be handling the money part of it, but they are also required to see whether the goods imported or likely to be imported or will be imported in future, if I am handling a transaction, whether they are in conformity with the foreign trade policy or not. Now, another aspect is relating to KYC. KYC by what? KYC by the banks on the importer customer. There are various KYC, but from here I take a cue that whether I should do the KYC of my supplier buyer or not. I must do it. We'll see in the later part how this affects our business. Banks may allow remittance for making payments for imports into India after ensuring that all the requisite details are made available by the importer and remittances for bona fide trade transactions as per applicable law. Two things are to be seen. All documents must be available and they are also concerned about the bona fides of the transaction. So rather now, both the points taken together, I've got three aspects. One is that the customer's due diligence, the importer's due diligence, the another is the bona fide of the transactions, and thirdly, the bona fide have to establish by way of the documents which the importer provides to the bank. Except for goods included in negative list or which require license, then under the foreign trade policy. So what does it mean? Negative list bank should not be approached. Wherever license is required, at the time of remittance, license will have to be. So we can have an advance authorization, we can have an import license, specific approval, EPCG, anything. I must provide to the bank as and when I want to send the remittance. Now, monitoring of imports. Why imports are being monitored? Somebody asked me, sir, I have bought goods. Now I don't want to pay. My bank is forcing me to pay. Or I have made the payment, the other guy is not sending the goods. Why bank is asking me to give the account? Monitoring of imports is important from the point of view of the country. If I am importing goods, I must pay. It's a commercial transaction. Somebody will speak out in the world saying, sir, importer from India does not pay. If I have paid the money, it is the country's foreign exchange. I must account for bringing the goods or bringing the money. So monitoring it. So now how does it? Obligation on the foreign exchange, purchaser of the foreign exchange. So section 10 says, use foreign exchange for the purpose drawn for. Or whatever purpose I import, I send the money, $5,000 as advance against import. That money should be used for the purpose of advance against import only, costly. Now, suppose if that import of X commodity is not happening, then I can import Y commodity, no issue in that. I can always ask the bank, this is the background, these are the papers, please substitute. I can use. So same purpose or other purpose which is permitted now. Whatever is permitted is I have to see that how I have to get the purpose code change if the purpose is changing. AD bank should ensure that importer furnishes evidence of import. The money has been sent out. The money which is sent out is monitored by way of creation of a record which is outward remittance memorandum, ORM, and that is being monitored. Why I need an import evidence? I need an import evidence as a bank to confirm to the country as a whole, the database, that $10,000 sent, the country has received goods worth $10,000. And once I confirm this, the account is quiet. It is permitted, but still I have to account for. And the entry is created in the form of ORM. And this entry then is modified till I provide an evidence for import. And once this is matched, both the entries will be closed. So the evidence of import is bill of entry and outward remittance first and then import will happen later. There's a creation of ORM in the system. This is the normal. This is the normal stage how we will work. Once shipment is arrived at port, I will be filing bill of entry now. It is maybe 24 hours prior to the your ship docking into the port. Once you file the bill of entry along with the copy of invoice, etc., all the details matching, the custom will verify If it is an AEO, then no need to verify. You will get it clearance. Customs will verify the details. A custom will verify the goods. See that whatever has been declared has been imported. They have a random checking system also. And then the bill of entry is approved. The bill of entry is then at the end of the day from different ports and airports is uploaded into IDPMS from a central server. What we call it, Director General of Systems of the Customs Department. Now, on this system, IDPMS, it comes through IceGate. All our bill of entries are also available in the system called IceGate. Now, once this data is uploaded in IDPMS, we are using AD code. So, on the basis of AD code, this gets distributed to different AD banks. Today morning, say suppose yesterday there have been 2,000 import consignments which have been cleared at different ports, seaports, etc., etc. Out of which 200 belong to ICICI Bank. 200 shipments with the bill of entry details, those bill of entry details will flow from the ROA server to the box of ICICI. Now, these bill of entries are required to be monitored by ICICI Bank till they are closed. Till you confirm when the payment was sent, what is the payment, whether payment has been made or not. So, basis that AD code. Now, in IceGate or even filing the what you call the bill of entry, the field of AD code has been made mandatory. So there is no escape now. If you are not putting AD code in some system by some way, then from the point of that point itself, we are violating certain rules. So do not miss to put AD code there. Receipt of import bill. Now the import has come, import bill has come, and subsequently the bill is lodged with the bank, and then the outward remittance happens, or it could be an advance payment also. When the advance payment is there, ORM is created by the bank. So what happens? Bill of entry pushed by customs, ORM pushed by the bank. And then when the importer goes and tells that this bill of entry belongs to so and so ORM, or this ORM is against so and so bill, then this gets down. Monitoring is there for both bill of entry and ORM. So let us see how. Import shipments. Imports could be by air. There is a bill of entry. It could be by sea. There is a bill of entry. They are all EDI ports, so it goes to IceGate. And from IceGate, it is moving to IDPMS. Now, courier bill of entry from January 2022. It is also treated as EDI port. Some 15 courier bill of entry, courier ports are there now. And from a separate software of customs, which called ECCS, Express Cargo Clearing System, it moves to IDPMS. Now, besides this, we also have one more mode, post. Now, till very recently, customs assessment certificate, postal appraisal form, they were manually handled. It was a non-EDI port. The item was not moving to IDPMS. The item still is not moving to IDPMS, but customs has changed the regulation, and in March 25, they have said there is a separate format of postal bill of import to be filed at FPO, so that earlier whatever appraisal form etc. were there, they have been replaced now by postal bill of import, similar to postal bill of import. What has happened now? Now, once this filing of postal bill of import starts and gets smoothened, on a press of a button, they will link this to IDPMS or ECCS or somewhere like that. So the data of postal import will gradually also come into IDPMS for a single point of monitoring. This is how, in my view, IDPMS structure would be. In the center, there's an RBI server. From IceGate or ECCS, the data from the customs part will move to the bill of entry data will move to server. On the basis of AD code, this will move to AD banks. AD will create ORM and then matching. This system has come into effect from 1st December 2016. So now my worry is some of the cutoff dates. We'll see later. It is the IDPMS monitors bill of entry and outward remittance. Bill of entries or outward remittance will become overdue when either the shipment has not happened or the payment has not been made beyond 6 months from the date of shipment or from 6 months from the date of payment. For case of capital goods, it is 3 years. I have made payment from bank A, but I have used the AD code of bank B, so that transfer is possible now within the system. But always I need to submit the bill of entry to the bank from where the remittance has happened. The other bank without the remittance cannot knock off the system. There are also some smaller provisions relating to write-off, extension of bill of entry that is also captured by this. And wherever the importers are not cooperating, not traceable, not providing sufficient information to the bank to knock off the ORM or bill of entry, they have been asked by RBI to report the data to Department of Enforcement. So anything long pending, bill of entry long pending or payment long pending which has not been matched may go to RBI, may go to Department of Enforcement because there is no such process here like caution listing. Bill of entry prior to 1st December 2016. There were certain ports which were electronic data interchange port, like linked to IceGate. So there, this IceGate related things will be there. And so wherever IceGate related things are there, prior to 1st December 2016, I will have a triplicate computer printed stationery in original right hand side corner written original exchange control copy that needs to be submitted to the bank. There were certain non-EDI ports which were manual ports which we called even as on December 16 or one or two ports after 16 also, where manual bill of entries were printed. They were hand written largely on a duplicate, maybe double full-scape size, green colored exchange control copy, right hand side written in red printed there, exchange control copy original. Courier bill of entry up to 2022. Single import, multiple import, the originals or copies thereof are required to be submitted to the bank. And postal bill of entry, postal imports, some of the documentary evidences like call notice, the duty paid document, assessment certificate, etc. need to be. After December 16, for all EDI ports, there is no printout original of exchange control copy. For non-EDI ports, still I am required to give triplicate or quadruplicate. Non-EDI, non-IDPMS imports, how can we get duplicate certified copies? Old cases. Now, I have to dig into the customs record. There is only one process which is available. I have talked to certain customs officials also. They say wherever prior to 2016, the ports were EDI, it is easier to get copy from their computer systems, maybe dump data, etc. There is a standard process, pay 1,000 rupees request, push for the getting the data. But wherever there were manual ports, there it is to be dug out from a manual record of Government of India Customs Department. Slightly lengthy process, difficult process, but still efforts will have to be made there. What is required to match and close the entries in IDPMS? So IDPMS, I have two entries. One is outward remittance, another is ORM. Oh, sorry, outward remittance is ORM and another is bill of entry. To close the bill of entry in IDPMS with correct details, I need correct details of import. Now, who punches the details when the bill of entry is there? Our clearinghouse agent or customs house agent, what we call. Either the CHA or CHS customs house agent. If there is a ORM which needs to be knocked off, then that ORM should match. ORM is created by the importer's bank, AD bank. So that should match with the bill of entry. So I have to mix both or match both and then get this close. Let us talk about the timelines. For import of normal goods, that is commodities, 6 months from the date of payment. The import should happen, the shipment should happen 6 months from the date of payment. Then for capital goods, 3 years from the date of shipment. For capital goods, 3 years from the date of payment. So if I have made payment now and placed an order for a specific machinery, then it could be 3 years, then the machinery can be imported. For payment of normal goods, 6 months from the date of shipment. If the shipment has happened on 1st of January 2025, then 30th June is the last date to make a normal payment. For capital goods, it could be 3 years. So 3 years could be the period because it could have a staggered period, installment, etc., etc. That is permitted. Trade credit. Now, the ab initio period, the usage period allowed by the supplier to the buyer, cannot be more than 6 months. If it is more than 6 months, then we get into another guidelines which we call trade credit guidelines. Now, these trade credit guidelines, so in this manner, will have to be registered there for trade credit if your invoice is drawn beyond 6 months. So sometimes it happens that the supplier is agreeable to give me a credit period of 9 months or even 12 months. In case of capital goods, 36 months. That is permitted, but I have to register that particular contract and transaction in the trade credit. Please check up with your AD banks. Drawn ab initio over 6 months will fall under the trade credit guideline. Advance payment imports into India within 6 months from the date of payment. The bill could be under collection, LC bill, through bank, side bill normally 15 days from the date of payment, 6 months from the date of import, also the payment should go. Collection bill usage, normally the timeline could be 6 months from the date of import and the payment should go ideally on the due date. Import first and payment later. Documents have been received by the importer directly and goods have been taken charge, they have got released from the customs. There could be a collection bill where the documents have been got released through the banking system, the BL has been released before payment. And there could be a letter of credit where against an undertaking the bank has released the documents to the importer. Now in all three cases, I need bill of entry to be submitted to the bank at the time of payment. Mandatory from RBI side that whenever there is a direct import or a usance bill where the payment is later and import has been released first, at the time of payment, the bank should ask for bill of entry. Now, if the imports are later and advance payment has been sent, or there is a collection bill where I have to pay first and then collect the documents, or there is an LC bill which is at site, I have to pay to the bank first and then collect the documents. So here the payment may be made first to the bank and then the imports can be cleared from the customs. In all these cases, we need to submit the bill of entry as soon as we release the goods from the customs, maybe 10 days, because if I pay today, I will get the goods released in next 3 days, 4 days, not more than that. So I must immediately submit the bill of entry to the bank. Do not wait for any reminders. In case of capital goods, we saw advance payment can be 3 years, and even in side case, it should be 15 days from the date of payment. Now, let us talk about delays. If the payment has not been made, import has been made, but payment has not been made, it has been delayed beyond 6 months, then in normal course, ADs are allowing payment up to 3 years without or with interest component. If there is a clause that if in case of delay beyond 6 months, interest will have to be paid at, say, maybe SOFR or SOFR plus 1, or maybe some 3%, 4% rate is given. Let us check it with SOFR also. Then this payment can go normal up to 3 years. I will have to inform to the bank why the delay has happened. The bank has to satisfy it, and the supplier has to confirm that I have agreed that if he sent with delay, I will not charge interest, etc. AD can consider payment for imports beyond 3 years if there is no interest. This is my interpretation. Several banks are doing it. Several banks are not doing it. Please talk to your bank if you are maybe somewhere if you have payment which is pending beyond 3 years. I know of certain banks which are sending these cases to RBI for submission of bill of entry extension beyond 6 months can be granted by AD Bank. Now, suppose I have made a payment and bill of entry is not there, or bill of entry is there, but I am not making the payment, then it can be marked in IDPMS. Now, what is this 3 years period? Let me talk about this. 3 years period is a period where I have taken goods on loan from a supplier. I have not paid to him. It is as good as a loan from the supplier. The new guidelines, or in the normal course of business, the regulator may treat this as a loan, and loan has got separate guidelines. Better to have a proper understanding, go in for a buyer's credit, go in for a supplier's credit, go in for a loan from the bank, but don't delay such import payments. If you are unduly delaying these import payments, and if something happens and you are maybe watched by the regulator with the help of the data now available in EDPM, IDPMS, or maybe on the various tools now, the customs data also, we may be questioned tomorrow why this was delayed. And when particularly there is no cash flow shortage in the system or in the company's books. In case of gems and jewelry, I will not cover in detail, but all forms of gems and jewelry, or with the metal, precious metal, different delays or different types of invoicing is done. How it is done? Gold advance payment is not permitted. The bills are required to be done only at site. There can be a delay on payment of 90 days only. Beyond 90 days, I have to go to RBI. In case of gold, import of gold or silver from IAFCA from Gift City, 11 days advance payment is permitted. No, it cannot be on a usage basis. No delays are permitted. You are not required to go to RBI, because if you are making advance payment, you should submit the bill of entry within 11 days period. Other precious metal, 90 days tenor is permitted in certain parameters. 90 days delay can happen. Beyond 180 days, I need to go to RBI. So gold, silver apart. Jewelry which is studded with studded jewelry of gold, silver, etc. 90 days tenor is permitted usage. 90 days delay is permitted. Beyond that, I need to move on. For diamonds, rough diamond import by site holders only. Those who are accredited importers, maybe what you call the polishers of the diamonds, accredited by the mining companies like De Beers, Alrosa, etc. 90 days is the original period. 90 days delay can be done by the importer. Further 180 days delay can be approved by the AD bank, and beyond 360 days you need to go to the. And semi-precious stones or other precious stone other than diamonds, advance payment is permitted. 90 days tenor is permitted. 90 days delay is permitted. Beyond 180 days you need to go to. So very exhaustive on the gems and jewelry, gold, silver. Short values and write-off. Write-off of 5% of invoice value, where the amount declared on bill of entry varies with the actual remittance due to operational reasons, charges, etc. I got an import of $100, but I have remitted only $98 because $2 have been somewhere spent in the expenses. I don't want to make $100. Permitted up to $5. On the other side, $5, $100 import made, $100 of $100 of advance payment made, and the supplier has deducted $4 as bank charges. He has made shipment only for $96. My bill of entry will be for $96. I have a reason. I can put it in writing in the bank and then give it to them. Up to 5% bill of entry and one both can be closed. But beyond 5%, up to full value, there are very specific reasons only by way of which the bill of entry or any quality issues, short shipment, destruction of goods at port, customs, health authority issues, etc. With the proper document, I have to write it off. And this is one item, one place where banks will ask for a lot of documents. And if the case is required to go to RBI, even then, lot of documents. We have to be very strong on the documentation. What are the challenges and issues? I put on certain 8-10 points, which will see that what are the challenges. IC. Whenever a bill of entry is being filed, see that the correct IC is made. There could be group companies where different ICs are there. Maybe a company which has got 5 companies, a group which has got 5 companies with 5 different ICs. A single company which has got multiple units, but they are using branch-wise IC. There could be different IC for a company where a DT has a separate IC, SEZ is a separate sub-unit which has a separate IC. My CHA or customs agent has to file the correct IC. I am telling you this because I have handled a case where the import was made in one account, but wrongly the IC has been used of another account. Invoice is in A, IC is of B. ED code. ED code is mandated to be put in a multiple banking arrangement or a consortium arrangement. If one corporate can have a multiple AD code, the entry with a use of wrong AD code or maybe some other AD code will flow to some other bank. And very recently we have found out, now I understand that this has been blocked, but some of the entries for SEZ, courier, there are no AD code. If there is no AD code, the entry will not flow, my payment will get pending. Seller consigned me, same or different. Transaction details are to be correct. Invoice number, description of goods, port of origin, port of discharge, shipping details, HSN code, classification, notation, all things have to be very robust there. Then Incoterms, CIF and FOB. What is to be there? Because whether the price includes freight and insurance or it does not include. Somebody has said, sir, my invoice is CIF. It is maybe FOB plus insurance freight or X plus freight. The CHA has filed a document which is FOB, but it does not show whether freight is extra or not. The customs has taken it separately because it's a computer. You have to file the correct values at the correct place. All imports are valued at CIF basis. So maybe even if the imports are at FOB, I will have to put the freight and insurance separately in that bill of entry. Value of import, the currency drop down is there. I have to select the correct drop down. If I select a wrong drop down, instead of dollar, I select a euro drop down. Then it will change the exchange rate. It will impact the value. And then according to that value, it will be a misdeclaration and wrong payment of the duty also. Amount of CIF and FOB, the correct payment terms, whether it is a DP, usance, advance payment, and whether it is a free of cost. No foreign exchange involved, samples. That they are sometimes it is not being selected. So for even the free samples, the bill of entry, there are issues in closing the bill of entry. Sample entries, sample cases where there is no commercial value. Now there we have to select FOC free of cost. What normally is NFEI. So that needs to be selected there. For customs duty, nothing is free. If it is a free sample to me, still I have to pay the duty. So even for $1, custom will recover. So there is no free. So bill of entry will be generated even for free samples. Filing of bond bill of entry. The goods are kept in bonded warehouse. So I have to put in the correct bill of entry details because even there AD code is required and the bill of entry goes into the IDPMS. Now, when the goods are getting released from bond, then also a bill of entry will be generated. So second bill of entry will come. So I need to put the bill of entry number of the bond bill of entry into the X bond bill of entry to link it. Third party, different supplier and different consignor. If it is a different consignor and different supplier, the first thing it should be captured in our pro forma invoice as a contract. Then it must be captured in the invoice which is being sent by the supplier. Then it must be captured in the transport document, bill of entry, bill of lading, airway bill, courier receipt, etc. Courier receipt does not have a place, but at least airway bill or bill of lading. Now here also while filing, the jumbling of places or incorrect details could happen. Third party details could be missed out. It is there in invoice, but I have not mentioned in the bill of entry. And then I must clearly specify to whom the payment is to be made, whether to the supplier or consignor or different party. Merchant trade transactions, the bill of entries are not there. Sorry, this is high seas transaction. This is not merchant trade. This is high sea sale transaction. I regret for the error here. High sea sale transaction. Now, high sea sale transaction, bill of entries are filed by the buyer, HSS buyer. The payment is sent by HSS seller. If the correct details are not captured, if the bill of entry is not received by the seller from the buyer, then these entries will remain pending. This reminds me of another aspect which is going to come now, that for merchant trade transactions, the bill of entries are not captured or shipping bills are not captured right now in the IDPMS or EDPMS. But going forward, once we have a revised guidelines, the government is an intention, the guidelines, draft guidelines state very particularly that these bill of entries will now be monitored through the IDPMS, EDPMS system. So we will have to correct that also. Re-import of goods. Goods have been exported first. The goods are now re-imported for repair and then again re-export. The cross-matching of references, bill of entry, shipping bill numbers must be mentioned. Return of goods on consignment basis. Now, export was done on consignment basis. The goods have been returned now. That bill of entry must have a reference of shipping bill number and clearly mentioned. Similarly, it could be goods imported and not used but re-exported. It was on approval basis only. I must mention the bill of entry number in the shipping bill. So let everything at the end also, I will say, what was the starting point? Our errors will start from contract order pro forma onwards. If that is prepared with a good understanding, then we will not face the challenges in between the filing, because that clerical error can always be rectified. Gain knowledge to avoid compliance. Thank you very much. We will take the questions later after the presentation by Linata. Have a passion in learning. Do work or do the business which is compliant business, because non-compliance will eat lot of energy, lot of time, and maybe lot of money also at times. These are my details. If anybody has any queries, particularly post this session, I'll be glad to take it on WhatsApp or maybe a mail from you on anything related to import of goods or services in India. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you very much. I think
you,
you
sir.
have excellently covered all the points which we want to discuss. Now I am requesting Madam Joshi from the ICICI Bank. Please give your thoughts. Madam Joshi.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Gaurang sir. So, Gaurang sir has very well explained about various provisions related with import transactions. Right from starting import transactions, what are the challenges that are being faced by importers and how to overcome these challenges, uh, along with these regulatory guidelines that has been very well covered by Gaurang sir. So now, in my presentation, I'll quickly take you all through the various exports and import banking solutions that ICICI offers to exporters and importers. So we will start the presentation. So can we move to next page? Yeah. So as an importer and exporters, you must have faced some challenges in managing your day-to-day business. Like you have to run against time to submit the documents in the branch, or you must be wondering exactly whom you should contact at branch to get your transaction done or to get your query resolved, or you must have been lived with high transaction charges, and sometimes you must be seeking some specialist advisory services from your bankers, and you must be anxious to get swift copy of your executed transaction, and you also must be seeking some pre and post transaction compliance support as well for your executed transaction. So to overcome all these challenges, ICICI Bank has come up with some digital proposition which offers ease in managing day-to-day business of importers and exporters. So what are these digital solutions, or what are the various features that ICICI Bank has for a trade transaction that we will see in this slide. So, regarding digital solutions, ICICI Bank offers most comprehensive portal for trade transactions, which is called Trade Online. There is one more platform available, that is Trade One View. So, here customers or importers and exporters can see all the transactions executed and get their advices copy as well. Regarding turnaround time, so turnaround time is basically a time within which that particular transaction gets executed from the bank. So at ICICI Bank, we have turnaround time for each product. So for example, EFC to INR conversion, it can be done instantly within no time at one click only. If exporter wants to settle inward remittance for their exports or for their export of services, then it gets settled within less than 1 hour. If that client has issued wants to avail BG, that is bank guarantee, it gets issued from the bank within 3 hours. And if importer has initiated outward remittance, then it gets settled within 5 hours. So this is the turnaround time of various products that is available with ICICI Bank. We offer some trade-related innovative products like instant disbursement of EPC, that is export packing credit. We also offer smart bank guarantee, where customer can apply bank guarantee online with defined BG text, or they can modify that BG text according to their requirement. We also have letter of credit draft generation, where uh, on that particular page, importer can modify that LC text according to their requirement, and they can instantly generate letter of credit application. We also have one more feature, that is full value outward remittance, where beneficiary gets entire value of outward remittance. So, say for example, if Indian entity has initiated say $1,000, normally what happens? The beneficiary get $990 by deducting $10 as a foreign bank charges. But here we have one product available, which is called full value outward remittance, where in our example, beneficiary will get $100, $1,000. So whatever value is remitted from India, beneficiary will get that entire value. So for this facility, we offer we charge some nominal value to our input or to our remitter. But this is a very good feature available where beneficiary gets entire payment initiated from Indian entity. At capital account services side, so capital account services are basically foreign direct investments and overseas direct investments. Here, to initiate all the transactions and to file the returns of these transactions, uh, there is pre-vetting portal. So this is online pre-vetting portal available. Before filing the return only, customers can verify what are the errors or what are the discrepancies in that return. We have dedicated capital account desk, which guide pre and post transaction compliance related queries by coordinating with regulator, that is RBI. So here customers get full assistance on capital account transaction as well as filing of the returns of those transactions. We also have one platform available that is called Trade Emerge. So of course this Trade Emerge features we will see in a subsequent slide. But to summarize, Trade Emerge is a banking solution where importers and exporters get various options right from applying importer-exporter code, and they can also search for logistics and cargo tracking solutions also. We can move to next slide. Yeah. So here are some options of trade online that are available to exporters and importers at ICICI Bank. So from Trade Online platform, first exporters can settle inward remittances, bill regularization, that is matching of inward remittance along with export bill. It can be done. export packing credit facility can be availed on trade online platform, or it can be applied. Export collection bills can be lodged, and bank guarantee also can be advised. At import side, import payments can be initiated. Import bills regularization, that is matching of outward remittance with bill of entry. This can be done on trade online platform. Letter of credit issuance can be LC application can also be done. Import collection bills also can be lodged, and service payments can be initiated. So around all the transactions that are initiated by exporters and importers are covered in online platform of ICICI Bank. We can move to next page, sir. Yeah, there are some unique features that are available for a trade online platform. So here customers get pre-filled application, so repeated information will not be filled in time and again. So customers get pre-filled application, and if any payment is to be scheduled at a defined frequency like weekly, monthly or quarterly, this can be scheduled under payment scheduler tab of trade online. As I earlier said, bill regularization can also be done. There is one more tab available, that is single view dashboard, where customers uh, view uh, uh, can view all the executed transactions as well, and they can also go through whatever their compliance penalty is there, or they can also download advices from single view dashboard. Also, customers get alerts for their executed transactions. There is non-financial module access available. So this is basically only view access that is available for accountants of the exporter's office or importer's office. So there is no edit option available, only view option is available for particularly accounts department of the company. Virtual guidance is also available under virtual guidance tab, where customers get step-by-step guidance on raising digital transaction. If any of the documents is a recurring in nature, like one-time document, it can be stored in master vault option that is a part of trade online. Online deal booking can also be done on trade online platform, and instant EFT conversion can also be initiated. So these are some unique features or options available on trade online platform. Yeah. So here you can see this is a complete dashboard for a trade related transaction. So this is a part of trade online only, where you can get overview of all your executed transactions. Like you will come to know what are the actions awaited at your end. Like there are some inward remittances. In this example, there are 21 inward remittances that are to be settled or that are pending for settlement for this private limited company. Or there are 16 advices that can be generated for the executed transaction. Uh, uh, there is one tab available, that is trade compliance and pendency. So here, a particular exporter can see their compliance pendency of export bills or shipping bills. Like shipping bill, they can see pendency of import bills as well. And if any of the transaction is already executed, they can check their transaction status also. So in nutshell, from this tab of Trade Online, you can download transaction advice and swift copy. You can also monitor due dates of your various payments like EPC, PCFC, or LC bill payment, and you can also track payment compliances. So this is overview of trade dashboard, which is a part of trade on. We can go to next slide. Yeah. There is one more option available, that is Insta EPC facility. So exporters who have already been availed export packing credit facility, they can apply for instant EPC disbursement 2 to 50 CR. So this application can be done digitally from Trade Online, or customers can walk into the branches to avail this facility. So there are three prerequisites to avail this facility: that it should be a running account basis, and export orders should not be pending for greater than 30 days. And if EPC limit that is going to be availed is less than 7.5 CR, LEI should not be is not mandatory. So these are the basic features of Insta EPC facility, which is available at ICICI Bank. We can move to next page, sir. Yeah. Under bank guarantee option of trade online, uh, there are various features of this option of bank guarantee. Here, as I earlier said, PG gets processed in just 3 hours, subject to receipt of all compliant documents within business hours. So customers may not visit time and again to get the BG. So only single visit is sufficient, or they can submit this request online also. And we have very simplified documentation for bank guarantee. And bank guarantee application can be submitted online, or the printed BG can be collected from branch also. For defined beneficiaries of government entities, we have defined pre-text and which is approved by our legal team, internal legal team. So here text is also defined. And as you must be aware that BG can be availed against fixed deposit or collateral. That is in the form of limits. So these are the basic features available in ICICI Bank for bank guarantee. So moving to last slide of the presentation, Trade Emerge, as I earlier said, Trade Emerge is one-stop solution for all the trade-related needs of importers and exporters. So right from starting your business, like as an importer and exporter, you must apply for import export code, that is IEC code, to start your business. If your goods that are being imported or exported are in the restricted category, you must apply for trade license to DGFT. So these various applications can be done through Trade Emerge platform. And if customer is ICICI Bank customer, they get 10% discount also to explore this web option. You can also discover buyers and sellers across the globe, where you get global trade database of more than 50 million buyers and sellers overseas. And if ICICI Bank, for ICICI Bank customers, we provide 30 days trial period as well to discover this option. It is not only discovery, you can verify buyers and sellers by obtaining information about any company across the globe. There are some logistic solutions are also available where you can compare rates and book your freights and courier option. There is one more tab available, that is avail insurance tab, where you can avail marine transit insurance, or you can apply for group health insurance, a property insurance, and workmen compensation insurance. Uh, since uh, since trade is highly regulated area, you must be aware about various import and export guidelines and all other regulatory guidelines of various regulatory bodies like RBI, DGFT, Customs, or ICC, that is International Chamber of Commerce. So all these guidelines are available under Knowledge Hub tab of Trade Emerge. So these also can be referred by importers and exporters while handling their business or while handling your business. So I would say Trade Emerge is a complete solution for all trade related needs of importers and exporters. So that is all from my side. If anyone is having any question regarding ICICI Bank, I am putting my email ID also in chat box, and we also can connect on in FAQ session or Q&A session. Thanks very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Yeah.
madam. Excellent, madam. Excellent. I think you covered everything regarding the ICICI Bank facility are being provided. You also talk one type solution for all the trade, whether import or export, and face challenges by the importer or exporter. Digital solution, outward remittances, and pre-shipment, post-shipment credit, letter of credit, bank guarantee. All facilities are being provided by the ICICI Bank. Whether you talk about the capital account services or innovative solutions or a trade online, all facilities are being provided, and our participants who are interested to avail such facility from the banking sector, they can go to the ICICI Bank and avail their facility and for the growth of their business. Thank you, madam. Excellent. You have covered everything. Now, Mr. Gaurang sir, there is one or two questions. You can see that question if you can
Yes, sir.
reply.
There are a couple of questions in the Q&A section. I just
Yes, please see that.
Mr. Ashwini says, can you please elaborate on what extension of bill of entry is? Extension of bill of entry is if we are not able to make the payment within the given the timeline or the period of 6 months, what is prescribed in the rules, then I can always approach the bank to seek an extension of payment. So bank will then extend it 6 months at a time. This is my representation or the request made, and that can be extended to the bank and marked in IDPMS. So that is more important that bank marks it in IDPMS so that it comes out of that overdue window. The another question by T. Ashwini is, can rejected import goods be handed over to the Indian representative? Now, rejected goods, whatever you do is your goods. But if you are now thinking that the goods import has happened and the goods have been rejected, and then the import bill of entry is also there, so it will not have an impact on the closure of ORM1 or the what you call the bill of entry. Now, if you feel that the goods have been rejected and because of that you do not want to make the remittance, then that rejected the quality related issue document will have to be handed over to the bank to close that bill of entry. Whether you hand it over to the Indian representative or you destroy those goods, maybe re-export, whatever you do, the closure relating to rejected goods or deficient goods will have to be provided to the bank. Somebody by the name Smart. If we have payment of sample and we have received only sample invoice of euro and dollar and no bill of entry of this sample transaction, everything which comes into India must pass through the customs window. And if it is passing through customs window and if the payment has been made, then you should have paid the duty, declared to the government that this is what I am importing into India. If there is no bill of entry, then how it has come? Because even the courier is scrutinized, the postage is scrutinized, etc. If there is a bill of entry, maybe you have not received the bill of entry from the courier, but it is not possible that the bill of entry is not there. Somewhere record will have you. If you have paid the duty, it means it has crossed the window. So you may maybe get back to me separately for a specific case, but I feel that bill of entry should be there. It is the other way around. Bill of entries are there and payments are not required to be sent. How will bill of entry be submitted? You'll have to talk to the party who has brought in the goods, either the postal department or your CHA or your courier company, etc. Mr. J. Suresh Kumar. We are electronic manufacturer, imported electronic material, but payment was made through credit card in the name of director of the company. Now IDPMS, RBI and email showing payment pending. Sir, the RBI has not, with a credit card, I should say, is a valid manner to make payment. You must take it with the bank with the payment of that credit card of the director can create an ORM. It will depend on the bank whether they know or do not know. You talk to your bank. This is a doable transaction. I myself have written this process in one of the banks, so I know how this is to be done. We also struggled initial period, but it is now 6, 7, 8 years back which we had done. So if you still filed an issue, just get back to me. I will just post you my details, so you can send me a mail. We can also help you professionally to support this. Doable transition. If it is paid through the director's card, then director would have been reimbursed by the company. All papers are required to be put in place. So no more questions, sir. If anybody wants to ask anything more, they can put it in Q&A or maybe if there is
Thank
a
you
public
very much.
forum, then. And
Thank you very much. I think you have replied all the questions which they have asked. If any other thing is there, please ask the question. Time is still with us, so we can give you a proper reply for that. So This program, as I already mentioned, is arranged by the ICICI Bank. And ICICI Bank is giving all type of facilities, whether you are talking about the pre-shipment, post-shipment, or a contingent. Everything are being provided by the ICICI Bank. You can avail their facilities. So as a research in India, we are also doing DPR. We are also conducting technical economical viability study. And we are also arranger for the funds, whether to importer or exporter or any for a capital goods, wire credit, everything we are considering and we are preparing your DPR, other things are there. If any service is being required from the research in India, so we are welcome. Another point with the Association for Financial Advisors, we are a knowledge partner. Our all the financial advisors, we are giving knowledge to them. And mostly we hold such webinars every month or even a week's time. So any suggestion from your side, my request to listener, participants, they can also become the member of the association and avail the benefit of the knowledge development, something like that. If any question is there, so we still asking. So please give your
There is one more question, sir.
please.
Should we approach AD bank or credit card bank? Sir, you will have to approach first your AD bank only. Then maybe talk to them how this is to be done, and then you can go there. One more question from Mr. Sarvesh Kumar. Please share documents for bill of entry closure for FOC shipment. Your copy of bill of entry, which should have a FOC written on it, copy of invoice, and copy of transport document, that is BL or your airway bill or courier receipt, anything, all three documents.
If any other question, I think you must be satisfied. If still any question from your side, please be free to write to us. So we can give you a reply for that. So in the end, I think this is a great program. So we have already completed with the ICICI Bank with the 15th program on the series of import export. Mostly every month we are holding such program. If you have any my thing in mind, you want to specially ask the, or you want to design any special program for the exporter or importer, so please inform to Research in India or our association for the financial advisor. So we are there definitely going to help. On the banner of the Research in India, we are holding different programs. Only yesterday we have held one program of the artificial intelligence. I think it was a very successful program. And some banks are expressed their desire to hold their program at their premises also. If anything required from our side, so we are here to help you in all respects. So in the end, I am thankful to our team who is not visible on the screen, Mr. Lokesh, Mr. Ankit, and Mr. Rajan, who is the architect of this program with the association with the ICICI Bank. And if anything required, as I already mentioned, please be free to write to us. So definitely we will help to organize such program. So I'm thankful to Gaurang sir, who is always with us. And I think we are getting a great feedback from our participants in all the program. So now I request all the participants, please give your feedback also and avail the services from the ICICI Bank. If any DPR, any other information required from the us as a research in India, so you are also welcome for that. Thank you very much. So I close the session because if there is no other question, and we have completed today our webinar, virtual webinar. I'm thankful to all the participants also for their faith, for their trust in us, and always oblige us in the such webinar with their feedback also. Please send your feedback if possible to the association or to Research in India so that we can give you good further webinar to this program. Thank you very much. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
madam.
everyone.
Thank you, Madam Jyoti.